This is the Remarkable Climate Leaders podcast. In every region, in every town of Europe, there is a climate leader paving the way for climate transition. You might not have heard of them yet. And what is a climate leader anyway? Let's meet one and find out. Join us as we meet Ricardo Gonzalez Mantero, renewable energy maestro from the largest region in Spain. What makes his work extraordinary? The fact that the entire continent aims to follow on his region's path as they set many firsts, including a precedent for CO2 emissions reduction in the European Union. Let's go. Hello, Ricardo. Thank you for joining us for the Remarkable Climate Leader podcast.
Hello, Sabine. How are you? It's very nice to be here.
Yes, I'm good. I'm very happy to have you here because we're taking this episode to Spain, a sunny place. And I know that you are working for more than 25 years for the public administration of the region Castilla y León. And I think most of this time or all this time has been in the regional energy agency of Castilla y León. Tell me more about this, about your role.
Well, in the 90s, long time ago.
In the 90s, yes.
I was working in Madrid for one of the big four utilities in Spain in the energy sector. And I heard that they were opening the regional energy agency, and it was in my hometown in León. So I applied and I started here in 1997. So it's this year is our 26th year in the agency, and yes, I've always been here. I am the head of the external relations department in the agency, and we are also have a part in studies and training here for our colleagues. And during these 26 years, I have also doing different things. For example, I've been the director of the agency for 14 years, and I have also been the general director for energy and mining in the regional administrations for 12 years. So it has been a long history here in the regional administration.
Yes. So you have been in the agency since the beginning of it.
Yeah. We opened at the beginning of 1997. I was one of the four first people to work here in the agency.
Okay, that's very nice. And how many people are working with you today? How many colleagues do you have?
Yeah, today we are 23. We are expanding a bit our personnel because we are doing many different things, also things related to European projects, and especially we have a lot of work today with next generation funds that have been allocated to the agency for subventions, and well, this is a terrible and very laborious work.
What made you want to work to move from the private sector to the public sector?
Well, at the beginning, as I was telling you, it was just more a question of being able to return to my hometown. And then it became very, very interesting because, Castilla y León historically has been the leader in hydropower here in Spain. We also have had from the 50s to the 80s a very strong coal sector here in Castilla y León. Most of it or all of it totally closed today. So this was really an opportunity when wind energy started, because we had the transmission grid, and this was a real advantage for us. And then had a good resource of wind. We have a very low density of population, so it was not difficult to be able to plan in a good expansion of wind energy. And I think this was our real choice, that we were able to build in all these years more than 6,600 megawatts of wind power, and a lot of jobs created also with this. We just saw the opportunity and we were able to go for it.
From what I understand, your region it's leading this renewable wave in Spain, right?
Yeah, it is the first region in renewables, first in hydro, first in wind, and the fifth one in photovoltaics, and the second one in biomass.
Yes, and in Spain, Spain is also can be considered a benchmark when it comes to renewable energies in the European Union. So, do you collaborate with other regions? How does it happen in the country? So you would together, have a joint effort.
We are growing a lot in renewables, but we have a big problem, and it's that our interconnections with France are not growing at the required pace. So at some days, at some concrete hours, we have to stop some of our renewable plants because we have noticed sufficient demand in the country, and we are not able to export everything to the rest of Europe. So this is one of our main worries.
And you, in your current role, are you working to attack this challenge?
Yeah, we are trying to make people conscious of this. When curtailments started to grow, we need two things. The first one is interconnections. If we have not the interconnections, we need storage. So we are trying to foster the capacity of storage in all Spain and, of course, in our region. And then, apart from storage, there are other things we can do. If there is not enough storage, we can also apply for green hydrogen production or green methanol or whatever.
I see. Are you involved in European projects, or does your agency have a lot of connections outside of the country from where you can learn best practices or maybe share yours?
Yeah. We started with European projects just from the beginning. We were very lucky because our first projects were with one of the probably more efficient and professional agencies in Europe, and it is the Oberösterreich Energie Sparverband with Christian Egger, and it was very good to start working with them because we learned a lot of how to manage projects, and together with my team we are still doing a lot of European projects and taking profit and learning a lot of things with them.
Do you happen to also work with the local authorities directly? How does it go?
Yes, we are working very closely with the regional government as we are part of it.
Is there a project or maybe a milestone that you would really wish to achieve in your region?
Well, in fact, a few years ago, our region was known not because of renewables. It was known because we were the first ones in coal-fired power plants. Today, more than 90% of our generation is renewable. And the only part which is not renewable is high efficiency natural gas combined heat and power installations. So I think we are very proud of this. Probably we will maintain, and because it is important for the competitivity of the industry, these combined heat and power plants. But as much as possible, we will try to convert some of them to biomass.
When you started working in the energy agency, what inspired you to want to do more for your region, to be as involved?
When you work in a energy agency, you are more proactive, and you not only do your job and your tasks, but you also try to have the initiative and to try to bring business to the region. So I think we were very lucky here because we have a very nice team here in the agency, and we've been able to produce all this big jump in renewables, helping the private sector. All the wind power that has been installed in the region, 99%, is private. And so what we have done is just trying to support the promoters, to help them to know what problems they had and try to solve them. And also, well, it was also very important to negotiate with the environmental authorities, with the system operator in Spain, in order to be able to connect all the renewables. So this is the kind of job that a regional energy agency is able to do, and that probably the normal institutional administration is not able to do.
I know you do a lot, and you talked a lot about renewables. But are you also working on, let's say, maybe on the sector of energy savings, or like buildings, transport?
Yeah. We are working in all of the sectors. For example, in transport, we started at the very beginning trying to impulse the electric vehicles. We were the first energy agency in Spain to have an electric vehicle here, and it was at the beginning of 2000. Buildings. Yeah, we are in charge here in the agency of the energy certificates. People is not so conscious as in other countries in Europe of how important it is to have a very good letter in the certificate of your building, because this means that you are going to be able to save energy and to save money, which is also very important. So we are trying to impulse the knowledge of the people about energy certificates, and together with a software we have created, so that you can see in your mobile phone, if you are in a street, you are able to know all the buildings you have around you. You are able to know which energy certificate they have. And this is also very interesting for people that are trying to rent a house or are trying to buy.
So this application is for the region. You can see in the entire region.
Yeah. It's an app, and you can download, and you are able to see it in your phone.
I would like to ask you the last question. What does being a climate leader mean to you?
In fact, we are proud here in the agency that we have been able to transform the region from fossil fuels strong region to a renewables region. We are helping Spain to reach the European objectives we have in renewables. This would be impossible without Castilla y León. It's good for us to be climate leaders, and I think it's not a question of persons only, it's the question of the team. And for us, the energy agencies are very important.
Do you see yourself as a climate leader?
Well, not myself. I see the agency.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabine.
Ricardo is one of the protagonists in the story of Castilla y León, from a strong fossil fuel region to a famous renewables region. He highlights the expansive role of energy agencies in contemporary society. Beyond their fundamental tasks, these agencies, under visionary leaders like Ricardo, actively work to bring business and growth to their regions. However, overcoming limitations to reach the leading spot brings more limitations. The current fight is to develop interconnections for renewable energy export throughout Europe and to enhance the country's storage capacity. Ricardo believes in teamwork, building and cultivating connections all over Europe, and understands there is always a space to achieve more. From his point of view, climate leadership is an attribute for teams and not for individuals. What do you think a climate leader is? Who, where? Discover the stories of your region on climateleaders.eu and on your favorite podcast app.